The year 2025 was a very active year. In the beginning of the year, we had a lot of snow. As spring came around, we had a lot of severe weather. Along with severe weather, we had historic flooding. And this was not only for one part of the United States, but this was for majority of the United States. And there is a lot more that happened as we got into the middle and late part of 2025. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the major weather events that happened in 2025. On one occasion, I predicted a very unusual winter storm. Around the 21st, you can already see that we're seeing 8 inches of snow, but that builds up a lot faster. We're seeing right over here 12 inches a foot, so some places could get isolated a foot of snow. Then a little less than a month later, our region got snow. We have a major winter storm coming for the central United States, and you can see that there's already winter storm warnings in the west, and there's winter storm watches in the east. Then early spring came, and we started to deal with major severe weather and flooding. On Saturday, we have a severe weather outbreak, and this outbreak could cause large tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. You can see that there's a big portion, and this is where we are, and you can see that we're almost in the middle of this flood watch area. So if you're in this flood watch area, you need to watch out for some widespread flooding, and I'm expecting widespread flooding. We ended up having widespread flooding from that. That was February 16th and 15th. And this is actually from that event. Then the severe weather situation got even worse as we got into the middle of March. In this red hatched area, we're expecting to see widespread tornadoes, long tracks, so please have your plan. And also, we have a significant wind threat. We have a 45% chance, and it's hatched, of having damaging winds, and they're expecting 70 plus miles an hour winds. And then Saturday, I've been talking about this for a while, we have a moderate risk with a 15% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of any given point. If you're in this area, be prepared for a widespread tornado outbreak. Those 2 days of severe weather ended up to be really destructive severe weather events, and this picture is actually from that event. Then in between the middle of March to early April, we did have not as significant severe weather, but we still had several rounds of severe weather. We have a slight risk in this area, and then we have a marginal risk, a big marginal risk for this big area. We're in a marginal risk, and then in Tennessee, like Memphis, Tennessee is in a slight risk. You can see there's a slight risk of severe weather, and there's some isolated tornadoes and maybe a strong tornado. We also have a severe weather threat in Texas, and then also this area here. You can see we have a marginal risk, maybe an isolated tornado in this area, and some damaging winds in this area. Then early April came, and we had more flooding and severe weather than ever before. We have a big marginal risk for this area, and we actually have a chance of pretty large hail in this area. You can see that there is a big enhanced risk, and we also have a tornado threat with that. Anybody in this area needs to take it seriously. It's Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. People that are affected by this area today will be familiar with a tornado outbreak that happened in 2021. There was widespread tornadoes, and this is comparable to that tornado outbreak. And that is not the only threat. We have a moderate risk today for flash flooding, and then tomorrow we have a moderate and high and slight and marginal risk. Same thing with Friday, we're going to have widespread flash flooding. I wouldn't be surprised to see an upgrade to a 10 hashed risk of tornadoes in this area. We have a risk in our area, and it doesn't stop there. We still have a slight risk in our area. We have a very significant scenario unfolding today. We have a big moderate risk and even a big high risk. So if you're in the high, we are expecting widespread, life-threatening flash flooding. We also have a severe weather threat. You can see we have an enhanced risk, and that's driven by a tornado threat. Then we had several more severe weather events, but little did we know, we still had more major tornado outbreaks on the way. By the end of April, we had another major tornado outbreak to talk about. This is on Monday. We have a moderate risk, so if you are in this moderate risk, be prepared for significant severe weather. Then we had several more severe weather events, and there are some that I didn't even talk about. Overall, a lot of the United States had to deal with very significant severe weather repeatedly. And then the middle of May came and we had yet another tornado outbreak for our region. Today we have a very dangerous situation that will likely unfold. Our area, our Kentucky Pensacola area, is in the moderate risk. That is driven by a significant damaging wind threat and a significant tornado threat. That ended up to be the most destructive severe weather event of the year for the Christian County area and several others. The severe weather just wouldn't stop. We have a very concerning moderate risk that is mainly driven by a significant tornado threat. We have an enhanced risk driven by tornadoes and damaging winds. I just gave you some of the more destructive severe weather events. There was a bunch more. As we got into the summer, we came to a new problem, and that was heat. By July, we still had occasional severe weather events, plus a major heat wave. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go like widespread extreme in our area, and I wouldn't be surprised to see heat indexes in our area go above 120 as we head into farther in next week. The severe weather and flooding continued through the summer, along with the heat in July. Thankfully, we didn't have any hurricanes make landfall on the U.S., but we did have one tropical storm on the East Coast. But Jamaica did have one of the worst hurricanes on record. Hurricane Melissa is right now at Category 5 level, and we're going to see winds maybe even up to 170 miles an hour, and we could see wind gusts over 200 miles an hour. The flooding and severe weather continued in the fall for the central United States, and occasionally in the eastern United States, just not as significant severe weather as in the spring. As the year was coming to an end, people started to see snow again. This SNAM model is showing us to see like 2 to 3 inches. Still seeing a lot of snow, and then in the Appalachian Mountains, we're going to see a lot of ice there. That's concerning too. This is going to be a serious situation because some people could end up seeing isolated areas of over a half an inch of ice somewhere in this area. Christian County, Kentucky saw around 2 inches, while southern Christian County didn't see any snow. And Columbus and Cincinnati, Ohio saw around 4 inches of snow. One of our last events of the year was a significant flood event. Another round of major extreme flooding for Christmas Eve, tomorrow on Wednesday. We're seeing over here in Los Angeles, we're seeing a lot of flooding. This is a high risk of flooding. That means anybody in this area is in a serious situation. We're going to be seeing possible mudslides with this. Around the Los Angeles area, we ended up seeing significant mudslides and significant flooding. Then the last severe weather event of the year came. We have some tornadoes and damaging winds possible. Over here in the slight risk, it's under damaging winds and a tornado threat. In this marginal risk, we have some damaging winds to be worried about and some isolated tornadoes too. We ended up having significant wind damage and tornadoes in those areas. Now, after saying all of this, let me ask you one question. Are you ready for 2026 and what weather it brings?